Good morning, everyone. I'm going to attempt to facilitate. I missed last month, so not sure exactly everything I missed, but welcome. We're glad you're here. Financial updates. I just want to pop this in since I wasn't here last week. We still have about $1,750 in our account. Not much has gone out in the last few months, so that is that. Let's see, welcome and introductions. Brittany, do you want to have everybody kind of go around and just say who they are?
Yeah, if whoever goes first, if you could just call in the next person, I think that would be probably the most effective way.
I can start. Sonia Campbell, and I am a Maine family home visitor through KB Cap, and I'm also the treasurer of SCARP. And let's see, Dana, why don't you go next?
You're muted. Yeah, well, I'm all messed up this morning. I turned off my video, turned on the whatever. Okay, so I'm Dana Hamilton. I'm a resource navigator with KB Cap here in Skowhegan, and I'll go to my right, which is Rob.
Hey everyone, Rob Rogers, Kennebec Behavioral Health. I'm the Director of Substance Use Prevention and Grant Services, as well as the Respect Me program, which is a certified domestic violence intervention program for females. And I'm looking across, and Jennifer is next.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jen from Centenary United Methodist Church in Skowhegan, and also the director for Common Unity Place that has our clothes closet, cup cafe, and personal care. And I'm going to, and it's great to be here this morning, I'm going to call on Patsy Miller, who I invited to join us today. And I'll let her, share about her background.
Good morning. Good morning. I so appreciate being here. So thank you. My name is Patsy Miller, and I was a co-partner in the Community Refridge Project when it started, and it ended. But we were very involved in that for almost a year. And I'm so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am to think this may happen. A refridge may go back downtown. So I just am here because of my excitement. I'm just a community member at this point, retired nurse, but thank you for inviting me. And I'm supposed to pick somebody, but I don't.
Wait, can I just say, I had just sent an email to Julia to say, can you get us in touch with the ladies that had the refrigerator? We need to talk to them. So thank you, Jen, for inviting, because we need to have that conversation. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I'm very disruptive this morning. My apologies.
So I need to pick somebody, but I don't know anybody. So somebody else is just going to have to.
I'm going to go. I'm Elisa Sousa. I work at Crisis and Counseling. I'm a manager of community case management, and I have an ulterior motive. Patsy, can you drop your contact information in a chat or tell me what it is? Because I want to put you on our little committee for the community fridge.
I will. Can we talk afterwards, and I'll give you anything you want to know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, all my contact. Yeah. Sure.
Okay, at the end then.
Okay.
Let's see who hasn't gone. Brittany, did you already go? You're next on my list.
Okay, I have.
But everybody knows you. You're like,
yeah, well, Patsy doesn't. So my name is Brittany Dunphy. I'm the community health educator at Reddington Fairview General Hospital, and I am also the secretary for SCARP. And I'm going to pass it over to Linda.
Good morning, everyone. Linda McKenzie from Somerset Public Health. I'm the project manager for a grant project called Pathways to Recovery. Really happy to be here this morning. Lovely to see your smiling faces. And I'll pass this over to Nicole.
Hey everyone, Nicole Frederick. I was invited by Dana. I'm the Hub 6 coordinator. So for the statewide homeless response system, that is the redesign with Maine Housing and the statewide homeless council. I'm the one for Hub 6, which covers Kennebec and Somerset County. So here to work with everyone and get some ideas or projects going. We'll see where it goes. I'll pass to Serena.
Hi, I'm Serena, and I'm a family service coordinator for KV Cap.
Jenna.
I'm Jenna Johnston, and I'm a family service coordinator for KB Cap. Stacy.
My name is Stacy Austin. I'm the recovery coach coordinator with Kennebec Behavioral Health, and I also run the Recovery Coaching Center here on Madison Avenue. And I'm looking, Jody.
Hi there, I am Jody Waterhouse. I work for Catholic Charities of Maine. I am the program coordinator for their Search and RSVP program. And I've been very bad at keeping track. Sharon, did you go?
I'm Sharon Kimball. I am with Northern Light Sebasticook Valley Hospital, and I work on the RCOR grant. And I don't know, has everybody gone? Sonia, did you? Yes, you were.
Except for Lisa.
Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa Meacham. I am a human resource specialist with Assistance Plus, and I also am the acting president for SCARP.
And Tara.
And Tara.
Hi, I'm Tara, and I work with Dana at KB Cap as a resource navigator.
So it looks like, I'm not sure, I know Patsy is joining us. The next thing that we had on our agenda was an update from the Community Fridge work group. Last month, I know that there wasn't a whole much of an update, but I had put it back on there in case that you are all able to meet.
Lisa, do you want to talk about our meeting, and then I'll
Sure.
talk about how I didn't do hardly anything that I said I would on my day off?
I wasn't going to throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
So one of my questions is, according, and I should have reached out earlier, Brittany, who do you have that is on the committee besides Karen, Dana, and I?
I have you three and Lisa. Those are the only 4 people who
Okay.
expressed interest at the in-person meeting,
So
but
then, Lisa, I apologize because I didn't invite you to the meeting,
That's okay.
but you didn't miss much.
Well, I could have helped you keep Dana on track.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
good luck with
I mean,
that.
keeping Dana and I on track is like herding cats.
Yeah,
A large bunch of them. Okay.
that is quite a large order there or whatever.
Yeah.
But we I mean, we talked about several options and exploring those, which I was supposed to kind of do on Friday and didn't. And then I went out yesterday and nothing kind of panned out, and I just ended up and I got recordings for phone to when I called people, whatever. So that's how I ended up just going, all right, I'll just because Elisa and I both agreed that we really need to check in with the 2 ladies that originally started the whole thing and to get their input and to find out how was it accessed that much, was there turnover in food on a regular basis, all those kinds of things. And so I did send an email to Julia saying, can you, are you allowed to give me those names? Can you please, give me the contact information? So great that one of you would show up today, Patty. How timely.
I'm so happy to be here.
So we discussed a few different things. I reached out to the chief just to see what the probability was, or if I should be including anybody else from the town in this project, even from his department, that kind of thing. And he sort of said not necessarily, but I asked him about potential use of the space because we'd spoken about it in a previous meeting, that public bathroom area, because it is enclosed but it's locked at night. And he gave me the contact information for the person who I would need to reach out to, and we just talked about, I feel confident I could get a building, like a shed or something like that, to house it. I could get electricity to it, and I could get a fridge. The propane to heat it would be a little bit tricky, but I'm confident I could get a lot of those things. It's just really like the location of it. And then like the other details that we spoke about, which was how often was it used and like the monitoring of it. So those are sort of a couple of the places where we're at. Part of me, I said to Dana, I'm not very gung-ho about chasing any type of grants because there's a lot of reporting criteria that go along with that. I'm not totally ruling it out, but I would rather knock on a door and explain this to somebody and have them make a donation. For instance, R&B Home Source, maybe they could advertise, do an advertisement and like donate a gently used or a new refrigerator for the community fridge. That's just an idea. I don't know anybody there. I'm just saying, I think that it doesn't necessarily need to come from a grant. So that was sort of some of the conversation that we had. And then Dana was name dropping because she's well seasoned. Let's put it that way. She's well seasoned in the Skowhegan area, and she knows a lot of people and was going to talk to a guy or a gal about, some different options. So we're still very much in the planning phase. So Patsy, you're on time. You're on time to arrive to the community fridge committee, and you're on it already, whether you want to be or not. We're gonna be
welcome to the committee.
Right. And then Lisa, I'll extend an invitation. Do I have your contact information so I can invite you to our next meeting? If not, just drop it in the chat and I'll make sure that I invite you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely have Patty put her contact information in chat too.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions or any feedback?
And we'll put our email and contact information in chat also for you, Patty. And I think Lisa probably already has ours, but.
Okay. Okay, great. I don't know if you want to hear from me today or want some information today, or you'd rather hear from me once you form a committee and you have a meeting.
Oh,
So,
we're dying to hear from you.
You're on the committee.
Yeah, you
You
may
are
be the committee at this point.
You're the chair, Patsy. I'm so glad she came now.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, chat it up.
well, you were talking about where you needed a building to put the fridge in. We have the building. I mean, we think it's very cute. The one that was down at the chamber where it's all painted and food stuff on it. I still have that. It's down at my camp. So that could get to you if you needed that building. It has a hole in the back where you can run your electricity. As far as what we did, to the beginning of it is we went to the town and talked to the select people, and they had to approve it before we could do it, but found that the chamber was the perfect place, I think, to put it. If you can get it, and there is a new chamber president who so I don't know how she feels about putting a fridge back down there. I know the blessing box was now broken and is gone. And one of the things with it being down there, everybody said, oh, it's going to get trashed. It was never, ever trashed. There were some incidences, don't get me wrong, there's always incidences, but it was never, the fridge was never trashed. It was so appreciated, I think, by the people that used it. There's all kinds of ins and outs of doing it, but grant money is, we hit our friends, all of our friends up for most of the money that when we started, and then we did all the shopping ourselves. And then
whoa, where'd she go? Uh-oh.
So I think she have to go in.
We lost her.
She sounded like she had connection issues maybe for a second.
I just have to
there.
come back with the roster and
maybe
like attended so that
who's not
Is it
muted
okay,
right
Brittany,
now?
that we're talking about this? Do we have time to do this?
Yeah,
It's on
I
the
think
agenda.
Okay.
yeah, I think that's fine. One thing, I guess I'll jump in until she connects because it does connect to the conversation about the chamber. And I wanted to talk about it later anyway. So there is a new director for the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm going to extend the invitation to her to join because the previous director was on SCARP. Oh, here she is. And
Can folks mute themselves?
Yes, because I can hear background. I just was gonna.
Sorry, yeah.
It's probably my background. I have a shared office in there sometimes,
Oh.
so sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay, yep.
So yes, I'll turn it back over to Patsy and then I'll share my other thing later.
Well, and that was one of the things I wanted to do because I need to talk to the new chamber director on about several things, including like Somerset Workforce Connect and some other committees that are workforce oriented and to anyway. So yeah, so that was on my list of things to do. I did try to call to make an appointment and no one's called me back. So you know, I guess I called it a bad time. I'm quite sure she's overwhelmed being new already.
Probably. But what we found out about what we loved about that spot is that you could drive in, drop food off and drive out, or you can drive in and pick up food and nobody knows which one you're doing. You know, it was just such an excellent spot of being able to pull in and pull out. And and we did do grants. We hit up all of our friends for the first probably month. And, you know, they didn't, after a while, it's like, and they were very generous.
They stopped answering your call?
Kind of, although they were all incredibly generous. So we did do the grant writing and we did a grant that just saved us through Mid-Maine. What is it? It's United Way of Mid-Maine.
Yeah.
And then we did another grant that we refused because the refrigerator broke and we were having to take it down through Realty of Maine. And they were both very generous with their grants. So that was like, I don't know, $3,500 and another $2,000. It saved us. We all of a sudden had money to go shopping with. So there's lots of groceries. We check that refrigerator twice a day. I think you need committees that we couldn't do it. I mean, we did it for almost a year, but it was just the two of us. And you really have to check it twice a day. Go down and clean it, make sure food's not outdated, nothing's spilled. It's a lot of work. And then, so you really need a committee for shopping, a committee for fundraising, a committee. You need several committees around this to make the people that are going to check it on what days. So we just never got to that part. We were just too busy to do that. So I have some suggestions if we want to talk later, but
so Patty, can you just give us like a ballpark figure of how much, the cost to maintain it, including all those things that you named? Do you have like an average of what it costs a month to maintain that?
We were shopping and putting in at least $150 at least a week. And that's then with all of our friends and our community putting in foods also. And at the end, we had more money, so we could up it a little bit. And what was the other question you had? The money, and there was another.
Just what the average cost a month for maintenance of the program, so to speak.
Okay, I can give you, if I went back through my papers, I could give you a ballpark maybe with that figure, but I do it off the top of my head right now. We ended up at the end meeting up with somebody that certainly helped us out with a lot of food also. We weren't eligible to pick it up from the grocery stores, which I think should change somehow, but we didn't have time to get into that. But we did have some help, and our friends help, and restaurants help, and the school, literally the kids that were in home ec, they started bringing meals down once a week. And there's a whole nother committee you could get to glean food and bring in. The summers are pretty easy because many people bring in their eggs and their vegetables and we'll give it to you. But you just have to do the twice a day down there to pick up that stuff and make sure it's picked up and taken care of. And then how else? Foods, we had somebody that shopped for us at the very end. What a gift that was. And she did all of our shopping and brought it up. But it literally meant Maureen and I'm not, she was supposed to be on too, but Maureen and I setting up, we had basically refrigerators and freezers in my garage and shelving to, once it's bought, putting it in our garage. So then every morning you could take it out of the garage and go down and stock the refrigerator. So you have to have some place that's going to hold all of this food also. And we always got in trouble in the wintertime and we'd have to bring it into our house. So it's a lot of thought about. Winslow also has a refrigerator, and there's now a refrigerator, and they're putting times on their refrigerator. I can tell you the issues of why they're doing it, and we had it, but it's too much information I think that you need right now. But there are like 5 refrigerators in the state of Maine. So there are other resources you could also tap into that I can get for you, and you could talk to them too. And the refrigerator in southern Maine, down in, it's past Weld, but down there, I mean, they had like 62 people working with them. Wow. They had people that did this and did the other people that did that. Then you just need somebody really coordinated and specific to keep it all straight and make their schedules. And that wasn't Maureen and I. We're not that organized, I guess, to run. And nor did we want to run a whole business of people and times. But it's the people so appreciated it. We met people that were incredible that would come down and pick up and bring back the next week once because their checks at the end of the month, it was rent or food or this, and they would come down and get food and they would bring food back. I mean, it is just an amazing place to be too, with the incredible good feelings and wonderful people around it. Had its problems also, but it's such a good project.
Well, we have a lot to talk about then, and hopefully, in the next day or two, we can figure out a time for us to meet. Lisa, are you still planning to be part of the committee? I mean, I know you have a different job now.
Oh, I have her email. She's part of the committee.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And I know I spoke with Brittany a little bit yesterday that until we've secured my replacement, I will still be here. I'll just need to reschedule mine. I don't want to leave everybody short. I don't want this group to suffer because of my employment changes, and that's not fair. So, and I made a commitment, and I've always told my children, you commit to the end. So I'm here, and I will do what I signed up for. So yes, I would love to be part of that.
Okay, great. Yeah. I mean,
because you're on the list.
I think one of the main things that no matter where we put it, it can't be out in the elements in the winter. We know that. So the whole thing is, where are we going to put it where it can at least maintain like a 40-degree or 45-degree heating thing. It doesn't have to be 70, for God's sakes. It's not a person, but we know you can't leave freezers and refrigerators, because God knows I've thought about that and found out, no, you can't do that out in the cold. And so,
well, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
You know where our refrigerator was, and we put a box to have to, encase it. But we had it down there all winter. We were shocked. I mean, we started it in January and ended it in November. So, and it was January 20th or something when we put that refrigerator down there in a box, and then the electricity ran through the back into the chamber, and we just needed, the fire department did come look at it and said it's fine, but I think we needed to get a different kind of cord, and we did. But we had no problems with that refrigerator. We can't.
Really?
We wanted to do a commercial for the refrigerator because we couldn't believe it either. It's like, you need to do a commercial about your refrigerator down here that has withstood this entire winter. So we have an issue.
Huh. And you don't think it broke down because of being outside?
Oh, it ran from the refrigerator was probably 30 years old that we pulled out. I don't know about new refrigerators, but that thing withstood. January, we put it in, we took it out because it did fail then, but it was old, and it was taken out in November because it finally hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we didn't have a problem in the cold.
Huh, all right.
I know. Probably
I-
if you look at the thing up, it would say you would, but really didn't. It was an older refrigerator. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. Older things are built like a Sherman tank, cars and refrigerators, no doubt. Yeah,
Exactly.
sorry, Jen, you're trying to say
No,
something.
no, I was just listening and I didn't know if this would be, but I was wondering if the motor being encased in that housing unit,
Mhm.
the
Kept it warm.
the heat of the motor would keep it
Oh.
warm enough
Mhm.
with the encasing around it.
Mhm.
That, I don't know, and that's probably a committee question to solve, but I,
Jen, I'm thinking you might want to be on the committee.
Yeah, yes, Jen.
Jen,
I think we've thought that several times already, but
Jen, I think I have your email.
there may be things that I could do to contribute to that, that I could be a support person to it. You know, I'm thinking about things quietly and just as it unfolds, if there's ways that I could help, either
putting you on the committee.
supplying food through the cafe, right, or the Tuesday evening meal program.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to show up for the meetings as long as you're reading the minutes and giving us feedback. We're good with that.
Minutes? Dana, did you take minutes?
No.
Okay. I mean, I took some notes, but nothing official, but I will.
Yeah, I
I'll
am
make sure
not
it's
a good
done.
minute taker, I can tell you. And even if I do a halfway decent job, they'll get put to the side and I'll go, yeah, I'll get those out. Yeah. No, no, somebody else who's much better at writing than I am and keeping track, like Brittany, then as thorough as she is with the minutes.
Oh, that's a
Maybe you
good
need
thought.
to put Brittany on the-
Rob, do you want to be on the committee?
If you read the entire note, it says no.
I only read the first line.
That's a great point though, Rob. I mean, they do have outdoor vending machines. So
Yeah, that's
you know, that-
true.
yeah, I'm just
So,
thinking about
not to be, well, I'm just gonna ask, Patsy, why did the community fridge go away? Was it because it broke?
The community fridge went away because several things. Number one is by November, there were issues going on in both of our lives. And I took it on for, say, 2 weeks by myself, and Maureen may have had to take it on for a couple of weeks by herself. That's a lot. It became a lot, and it's November. But that's not why we would have held in, but the refrigerator broke. There were some issues around the chamber at the time, and
Yeah.
we couldn't put a new refrigerator. We didn't feel we could put another refrigerator there. Although you guys will have no problems get a refrigerator. The refrigerator went down and we must have had 5 people say, I've got a refrigerator. You need a refrigerator, call me. And certainly the Skowhegan page, and I don't know it, but it's the Facebook page.
Yes.
There must have been 3-4 people on there just saying, I have a refrigerator if you want a refrigerator. You'll never have a problem finding a refrigerator. It's just the staff to do it.
Right. And
And
are
it-
you optimistic with the change in leadership at the chamber that that will be a viable spot for it?
I think it would be a great spot if indeed your chamber president decides they want to do that. And there's, but you really have to make sure you're there to make sure there are incidences that somebody came and maybe were drunk or whatever, and there was food on around the refrigerator. That all has to be really taken care of if you put it there, because it's in front of the chamber. But with a new chamber president, it would be my first question. Would you consider doing this again?
Yeah, that plans to be the first question on my laundry list of things I need to talk to her about. So I will commit to getting that done and having that conversation with her. At the very least, there's business after hours next Thursday night. So if I don't get a hold of her before then, I'm quite sure she'll be there.
But the community really stepped in too. You had people that were bringing foods from all the different restaurants in town. And there's another refrigerator has a whole group of people that go around at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and pick up restaurant food. I mean, there's many ways to pull in food. You just need people.
Yeah.
The power of people. I'm
Yeah.
optimistic.
And I'm quite sure that we can get a 30-second spot or something on the Skowhegan radio station to talk about it. To just say it's here.
They were wonderful for us. And
Yeah.
absolutely, I would go, who is it? Jitterbug Jimmy?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was probably the most horrifying, scared I've ever been in doing a 30-minute spot on a radio with Maureen and Jitterbug Jimmy to talk about this. It came out, they did it, they took out all of our uhs and it came out great, but they were more than excited to help. They're very excited by the project. So I think you'll find them be very welcoming to talk to you. And they gave us free ads all the time.
Great.
Thank you for coming today, and we're looking forward to moving things forward and I guess reinvigorating this community project. And thank you, Jen, for making the connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I couldn't be more excited. I'm not absolutely sure I can be on your committee. I don't know yet, but I am so excited that it's going to happen again, or you're trying to make this happen again.
At least your contact information to ask you follow-up questions would be good. Maybe as a consult to the committee.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think any of us are expecting the level of involvement that you had before. That was a lot of work that you guys did. But like Elisa said, if you could, at least in the beginning, be with us as we have different considerations and talk, putting it together, having your input and Maureen's would be awesome.
You got it. And I'm not sure why Maureen isn't here, because she'd have a lot of input. But yes, I can, yes.
Great.
We'll talk, Lisa. Okay.
So I guess that's it for the refrigerator thing. Yeah.
Oh, I could go on and on and on, but I think that's probably all you need from me today.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
We will definitely be reaching out. And again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks for the invitation, and thanks, Jen.
Perfect. So we're going to move right on to our next agenda item. And that is to continue discussion on resource education for Somerset County.
Lisa, can I just put out there? So I attended a webinar. It was either last Friday or the Friday before. It was part of the governor's opioid seminar series. And this month's topic, they split half their time talking about CCBHC, so Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinics. And the other half of it was discussing a new platform that the state is investing money into. It has not been unveiled yet. They're still in the part where they're engaging with community providers. But it is a system through Bamboo Health where agencies would put in like wait times, bed availability. So for some of these services, an agency can go on and see, we may not have the capacity, but where is there an outpatient opening? Where is there a detox bed or, openings? So it's supposed to be live availability. The downside and the part that they're, I think, working on is they have to get the buy-in from the agencies, because the agencies then have to go into that system. And so for places like detox beds, hospital beds, those sorts of things, or even recovery residences for people with substance use disorders, they have to go in on a daily basis and put their status. For more outpatient type services, they were looking at having that updated on a weekly basis. So I just wanted to put that out there before we start. I know resource tools tend to get outdated before they're even like finished at the print shop. So there is something being done at the statewide level to look at this.
Looks like somebody's heard all our conversations about not needing to put out a resource guide. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because I do agree. I mean, it's going to be tricky to keep something and keep it consistent as well. Any other thoughts?
Well, again, I think we have to think about who are we talking about for an audience? Are we talking about getting the word out? Because I think part of it is really getting the word out to the local agencies that SCARP still exists, to get some people back to the table that used to be here, but engaging, you know, so I guess focused on the nonprofits and service providers, but then the other, you know, half of that is in how do we let our community know that all these agencies are out there and what they do. And that's the taller, I think, you know, because you're right, things change. An agency is here today and gone tomorrow, even as we all have witnessed over time. So, and it has to be short and sweet and to the point, or else people aren't going to really thumb through it that much. So I don't, you know, it's going to be a real mystery on how we get that information to community people, that there are services that they have access to and perhaps aren't utilizing and they really need.
I ran across a resource this week. Excuse me, that I'd be happy to share with the group. I'm going to do a share screen here. Can you all see that? Yes. So this is a document from
Okay, you're breaking up now, Linda.
My computer's frozen. There we go. So this is the Northwest Connecticut Substance Abuse and Mental Health Resource Guide. Don't know where to start. So this I thought was interesting, right? Gives an index of all the different resources for contact. We can certainly modify this to include much more information, but this was specific for mental health and substance use. So then when you go down, and I'll drop this link in the chat too, so you can look at it. So they have, and of course they have a lot more than Somerset County does, but they've got the addiction organizations. I'm clicking on the next slide, it's just not moving right now. Okay. Adolescent treatment, advocacy groups, basic needs, CHH departments, I'm not sure what that is, child behavior health services, okay. Child care, detox centers, general mental health. And it just goes down from there. And then at the end, I thought this was also very interesting. At the very end, there's a description of the services. So the category might be addiction or advocacy, and it just gives a real brief description of what those services or agencies do. So I'll stop sharing and I'll drop that link in the chat for you to look at. But I was thinking, you know, collectively, if we worked on this as a SCARP group, we could share the different things our agencies do or what we're aware of, right? We're aware of different things that might be available in the county. So exactly, KBCAP has a resource manual, right? But if we have a SCARP resource, then it's all of our different contacts and agencies, KVCAP could absolutely be a part of that. Their resource guide is very, very good. So I don't know, I just wanted to share that with you. When I looked at it, first thing I thought of was bringing it to the group for a conversation. Someone would have to be willing to, like, once you got the information, to actually create the document. And the other thing I was thinking about too, is that if we do this collectively, I mean, we all have our resources within our agencies, right? We know what our agency does, but if we do this collectively, I think we're much more likely to share it because we own part of it, right? So it's going to get out there because we want to promote what we do. I mean, that's just human nature. So I'll just stop and
Well, in the
like to hear your thoughts.
The KVCAP resource manual is great for overall, but it's also very extensive and, you know, like however many pages, and then you have to be able to go online to access it too. So, but I like the idea, Linda, of that kind of that chart, that kind of, it's easy to read, boom, boom, boom. You know, if we could do something like that, and I don't know whether we could keep it down to a 2-sided 1-pager, that would be like awesome.
I was just going to say, when you were presenting that when I was appointed in Unity, which we were kind of the outpost of, we weren't blessed with downtown Skowhegan and a, you know, myriad of down the street, you know, resources. I picked up a double-sided and it had a 3-hole punch in it, you know, already there. And I just put it into one of my binders at the church. And if I needed a resource, even from the county seat in Belfast, it was on there. And I used that thing until it was completely worn out. And it was in a, you know, right on the counter at the town office. And so I'm just wondering if we could come up with something that's, so like so for instance, Dana, not to put you out there, but Dana as you know, navigator, right, for KVCAP, if we had those lead contact people and if we could get it to a 2-sided and just have it at the town office, at the post office, at all of these key places, you know, I would certainly volunteer to be a leg person to just take a bundle in at the chamber, at any place, you know. I think that would be a starting point, you know, because not everyone that I serve has a laptop, or even sometimes they have a track phone. I mean, that's all they've got. That's their connection to the world. And if they don't have money to put more minutes on that track phone, they are isolated. So I'm just wondering if something, we need online access, but I also think just something for anyone to pick up or.
Yeah, and most seasoned people, as Lisa calls me, of my generation, really don't, you know, if they use the internet, it's for email maybe. And that, I mean, it's, you know, they're hoping that their grandchild or somebody will show them, but they're not really internet, you know, into all that. So if they have that hard copy that they can have right beside their phone or whatever, I just think that's so much better than, you know, there's just a whole generation until we all die off. I mean, eventually everybody will be internet savvy, but right now you have an older population that isn't. And plus the fact we have a hard time, you know, we aren't hardwired to read with a backlit screen for very long. So it's just, we're not wired that way like a younger generation who's had it since practically birth. So there's that. So something that is easy to grab, easy to read, stick it on the wall beside the phone or right there, and just kind of spells things out. The challenge is going to be the challenge that everybody has maintaining something like that. Who's going to maintain it?
Well, I would say for starting, if everybody would be willing to email me, I will start the form. I can do that piece.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
That would be awesome.
I will follow as much as I can out of what Linda just shared as well. But yeah, if you send me, I mean, even just one resource a piece, then I'll start collaborating as well and getting it together. I know Brittany wanted to share some info that she received. So Brittany, I'll let you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. So it was not on the agenda because it was a last minute thing that I received this morning. And after I share this, I think probably Dana and Rob could give some background to this. So there is a new executive director at the Chamber of Commerce. She emailed me because they had sent out an invoice for dues for SCARP and it was returned to them because they have an old address. So I had emailed her and asked her what she was talking about. And her response to me was SCARP has been a member of the Chamber of Commerce since 2017. The last payments that they received from SCARP was in 2020. And then with COVID and change of staffing, an invoice hadn't been sent again until December 30th of 2022. And it was returned to them because of the mailing address. The mailing address that they had was a Main Street address. So I had told her that I would talk with you all this morning. Assuming that it's clearly at some point SCARP decided to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I had not known that because it wasn't in anything that I found. So I don't know. I wanted to bring it all back to you to see if we wanted to discuss staying a member. Dana and Rob, if you have any historical knowledge on the reason why or any benefits. The other thing along with that I had thought of is if we do decide if we're going to start paying dues, we probably should revisit SCARP members paying dues because it seems, yeah. So that's my situation update.
I think until Jason, we never belonged to the chamber, did we, Rob?
No.
No.
I was going to say, I don't ever remember being part of the chamber.
And I will say, I know this is being recorded, so I don't know how much to publicly say, but
Okay.
we were never members of chamber prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think as a coalition, I don't know what the benefit, I mean, our agencies are all members of the chamber anyway, so I think we don't need that expense.
Okay, I can ask her for more information. So for those who aren't familiar, Haley Howard is the new executive director. She just came on, so she's very new. I'm sure she's clearly probably still trying to sort through things. She did say that according to their QuickBook records, that was when we were last a member. But again, you know, was quite a while ago, 2017. So I can ask her for some more information.
Well,
can I ask how much does it cost? I'm curious. What does that cost on an annual basis?
Well, I shouldn't say that.
She did not say, but you know, I think part of it too is really what if SCARP ever really was a member. I guess I'm curious as to what the benefits would be, because there's a lot. I mean, there's benefits for businesses, but I don't know what the benefits for SCARP would be.
Well, you know, again, I think most of our agencies are already, so we probably already have those benefits as an agency staff. But I can add that certainly to my list of things to talk to her about when we meet.
Okay. Do you already have any?
Because we as a SCARP, we're not in a place where we don't have a deliverable. We're not recruiting business. Right. I mean, we are, or at least we previously were, we're more of a networking group. Sometimes we look at some of those unmet needs. I would also be curious. I mean, I never stopped being a SCARP member, but I don't recall SCARP ever voting and saying, let's join and let's spend money in that way. So
I'd be curious to look back. I don't know if we can access old treasury reports to see if there's any line item and that was taken out for that. Because I'm quite sure if it showed up in a report that any of us were looking at, Rob and I would have said, what is this? We've never done this before or whatever. So that's, yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
I'll just share, I was invited to be a member. The church was, and it was several $100s a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
We really prefer JetBlue and they don't fly.
Okay.
of
So,
Portland,
yeah, I
so,
thank you both. I knew that you'd both be able to give me background information because I was very clear with her that I had no idea what she was talking about. I can ask her for some more information on their end, and Lisa and Sonia and I can do some background work on our end to see through SCARP records and try to iron that out. But from what I'm hearing from people that have responded is that it's not something that we're looking to do. Is to be, if it's even an option, but okay.
Yeah, nor
That-
can we afford it.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Brittany. For sake of time, we have 7 minutes. We can either go around and do agency updates, or you could provide your updates via email to Brittany and we can send them out with the minutes. So if you would prefer to chat it up, it's on you. Here at Assistance Plus, right now, there are 7 new staff upstairs. I ducked out of my orientation. And so we are hiring for all positions. And that is my role, is the onboarding and the hiring and the orientation process as well. So that's what's new here, just really trying to hire, trying to pick up clients. Pillars closed their doors abruptly in Fairfield. And so we're, like many other agencies, are probably going to have an additional influx of clientele needing services. So that's all I have. Anybody else have updates that they would like to share? Hi, Jen.
Yes, I'd just like to share our next free Tuesday meal is next Tuesday, and it is chop suey, garlic bread, dessert. We are also offering hot meals on Wednesdays, starting around 10:30. And we have been handing out also meal kits just to go, like we'll pick a meal and then we'll provide, like yesterday it was tuna casserole. We had fresh peppers, oranges, and we just made up meal kits and put it out and people could take what they wanted. And so we've been doing that on Wednesdays as well. And we have, of course, our personal care pantry and the clothing closet, of course, and that's 9 to noon and 5 to 7 on Wednesdays, and our thrift shop. So Destination Wednesday. Thank you.
Two things real quick. One, and perhaps everybody but me knew this, but apparently the Good Shepherd sends up a food truck on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of every month with free food from 1 to 3, and they're in the parking lot there at the Catholic Church. I did not know that until Kristen brought some stuff back yesterday for folks. So that might help us with the refrigerator, supplying the refrigerator too, at least twice a month. So
Yeah,
that's
the
fun.
Winslow Community Cupboard. They come the 1st and 3rd. They're wonderful, and it's mostly produce, but
Right.
it's all great stuff. Absolutely, and I'm sure they would give to the fridge.
To the-
Yeah,
And
I'm sure.
if I can just chime in on this one, this is one of the people that really helped us out. And so Maureen is working for helping Bruce out those 2 Wednesdays of the month and incredible food. And there was so much food there yesterday. It goes, it's a lot of food that can be distributed in this community.
I have a bunch of mangoes that I'm just giving away. And I gave away my bag of potatoes to someone last night because I thought I'll never go through these or whatever. But anyway, that Kristen passed on to me. But the other thing is, one of the reasons I asked Nicole to also join SCARP and come to our meetings is somewhere along the way when we're considering people expanding and presenting about their program, I think she would be a good presenter. Love to throw you under the bus, Nicole. But I'm just saying, if we could consider that and have her talk a little more extensively about her hub and what Volunteers of America is doing, I think that would be great. Thank you.
I just put it in the chat, but I was in a meeting a week ago with the Maine Military Community Network, and the VA shared that while they're not bringing back their mobile trailer that had been parked beside the health center, they're not going to utilize that, but they are now utilizing some space from the town. Where they are going to be doing telehealth for people that can't get to the VA. So if you have a veteran that needs services, they can't get there, I would encourage them to reach out to the VA and see if telehealth would be an option for them.
Thank you. Any other updates? Perfect. I will still, do my part. So send me your resources. I will type that up. But if there's nothing else that we have to discuss or any additional updates, I want to thank all of you for coming. You have my email, Elisa, for the committee, and my email for any of your resources. I appreciate that. Have a great day, everybody. Stay warm.